Hello, everyone. Welcome from Little Data Scientist channel. Companies love calling themselves data-driven, but in reality, raw data doesn't magically become dashboards, insights, or AI models. Behind the scenes, a whole team of people works together, and each role moves data one step closer to real business impact. In today's video, we'll explore how companies transform raw data into meaningful insights and how modern data teams make it happen. Every day, businesses generate massive data from apps, databases, API, and spreadsheets. It's scattered, inconsistent, and rarely analysis ready. For a deep dive on data sources, check my video on how modern companies generate data. To create real value from data, companies rely on a sequence of roles and processes. The journey starts with how data is collected and organized. Once data is generated by applications, databases, and external systems, it is not analyzed directly. Instead, companies first load this data into a central storage layer known as a data warehouse. In modern data teams, this process typically follows an ELT approach. Data is extracted from source systems and loaded into the warehouse in its raw form. Transformations are applied later inside the warehouse using scalable compute. This approach allows companies to preserve raw data, apply transformations flexibly, support multiple analytical use cases from the same source data. Because this layer feeds dashboards, analysis, and machine learning, it must be automated, reliable, and easy to monitor. At this stage, the foundation of the entire data workflow is established, and two roles become critical: the data architect and the data engineer. The data architect is responsible for designing the overall data system. This role defines how data is structured, how different systems connect, what standards ensure consistency and scalability, how the system evolves as data volume and complexity grow. Rather than working with individual reports or analyses, the data architect focuses on long-term design decisions. When data architecture is well designed, teams can move faster and trust the data they use. When it is poorly designed, even simple analysis becomes difficult. Data architects move data from chaos to structure. Once the system is designed, the data engineer builds and operates it. This role focuses on creating data pipelines, ensuring data freshness and accuracy, monitoring failures and fixing broken jobs, maintaining data quality at scale. Data engineers work mostly behind the scenes, but their impact is visible everywhere. Dashboards, analyses, and models all rely on the reliability of this layer. If data pipelines fail, decision-making slows down across the organization. Data engineers move data from raw to reliable. When data is clean and reliable, it becomes ready for consumption by the business. This is where the BI developer plays a key role. BI developers design dashboards, define business metrics, and create semantic layers that make data easy to understand and consistent across teams. They work closely with stakeholders to ensure that metrics are clearly defined, dashboards reflect business priorities, data is accessible without deep technical knowledge. Through dashboards and reports, BI developers shape how the organization sees its performance on a daily basis. BI developers move data from tables to visibility. While BI developers focus on ongoing visibility, data analysts focus on investigation and explanation. Data analysts use business-ready data to answer questions such as, why did a key metric change? What caused a sudden drop or increase? Which segments or behaviors explain the outcome? This work often involves ad hoc analysis, deep dives, and close collaboration with business teams. The value of this role lies in turning numbers into insights that support better decisions. Data analysts move data from visibility to understanding. After understanding what happened in the past, organizations often want to anticipate what will happen next. This is the focus of the data scientist. Data scientists use historical data to build models that predict future outcomes or optimize decisions such as customer churn, product recommendations, demand forecasting, risk estimation. Rather than explaining past behavior, this role focuses on patterns and probabilities. These predictions help businesses act earlier and more strategically. Data scientists move data from understanding to prediction. Predictions alone do not create business value unless they are used in real systems. This responsibility belongs to the machine learning engineer. Machine learning engineers take trained models and deploy them into production environments, integrate them with applications and services, monitor performance, reliability, and drift over time. This role ensures that predictions are generated consistently and influence real business processes. Without this step, models remain experiments rather than products. Machine learning engineers move data from prediction to production. Modern data teams do not operate as isolated roles. They form a sequence where each step builds on the previous one. Data is collected, structured, analyzed, and operationalized, moving steadily closer to real business impact. Although each role has a different focus and skill set, all of them contribute to the same objective: turning raw data into meaningful outcomes for the business. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Little Data Scientist channel. Thanks for watching.